Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on.
And how quickly are you allowed to leave after a game? Like, at what point can you leave the stadium? Can you just go, oh, I'm going out for dinner with the missus tonight? Boom, gone, shower.
You've got a good one,
Or
Mark.
can you just not shower and go home?
Look, I think for a home game, it's slightly different because as soon as the manager's had his say, that's your time.
Yeah.
And sometimes the manager is so pissed with the result, he said, I'll speak to you tomorrow morning or I'll speak to you on Monday morning.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's down to you. Now, I know a specific player last year who would, a Premier League player, would straight after a game, sometimes not even shower, get his fucking tracksuit on and be straight off to the airport and fly home for the weekend.
That's honestly
Absolutely incredible.
not having a shower, right? I don't know if I've ever seen it. I'll be
Well,
honest.
I didn't see it, but I've been told about
But
it.
I don't think I've ever played with a player that's not had a shower after the full-time whistle, at least have a shower, right? That is the perception that gives off, right? A player just wanting to get off is the worst thing about it all. The reason why players normally mill around and get a bit of food inside them and just get a bit of a rub or a bit of a chat is because of the perception of it all, right? You can't be seen to be wanting to just get the game done and get off, because what it says is, oh, you don't really care. You just want to get home and go. You're either going out, you're probably going out tonight. That's all you've got on your mind.
Do coaching staff have showers after the game?
Yeah, certainly. At home games, obviously, we have a separate dressing room at the back of the dressing room. So,
Do you?
Yeah. So we
Didn't know that.
for the home games, we all like it's connected to the dressing room, but it's slightly aside, if you like. So we'd all have us pegs, and you've got separate showers for that. When we travel away, certainly when our goalkeeping coach always had a shower. I mean, you're sweaty from the warm-up. I think when I went into the later time as an assistant coach, I wouldn't necessarily need to have a shower unless I'd got wet through during the game, in an away game, but always for the home games, for sure. Managers, slightly different, I think.
Yeah, sometimes
context.
they do, sometimes they don't.
yeah.
Depends if they're one of them animated managers.
Running like a Mourinho down the touchline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, weirdest ritual before a game. Have you ever experienced a player, manager, coaching staff doing something where you're kind of thinking, mate, what on earth are you doing?
The one that springs to mind for me is, and you can argue whether you think it's weird, but like Jose Font, captain of Southampton when I first joined, leader of the team, really good, ended up playing for Portugal. I think he won the Euros with Portugal. Really great kid, but not that vocal of a leader. But as soon as the manager had finished his team talk, because he was captain, the kit man would be waiting to put his captain's armband on, and he'd get down and do 30, 40 press-ups just so he pumped and get the armband on.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Every match.
When we go swimming baths, that's what we do, isn't it? Quickly do the press-ups, get the little pump on, just so you look a
But
little
he did
bit
that
bigger.
every match, just
Swimming
so
baths.
the armband looked really good on him.
Yeah, fair play.
A lot of players take a few paracetamol before the game, a couple paracetamol. So the doctor normally, like just before the game's about to kick off, like 20 minutes ago, you come in from the warm-up or whatever, he'll walk around with, lads, anybody need an anti-inflammatory? Anybody needs any paracetamol? And a lot of players will take a paracetamol because the stress of the game and it just about to happen actually gives some people headaches. It's a bit too much for them, so they'll just take a couple of paracetamol and it will just sort of settle the nerves a little bit.
Is this the player mix or match mix or what?
The match mix is something you take before the warm-up. So the match mix is something when you get to the stadium, you normally need to take it about an hour before kickoff. So normally just before you go out so that it's in full effect for when the game kicks off. And the match mix will consist of a soluble ibuprofen, a soluble painkiller basically, and soluble aspirin as well. And you take it and it just sort of takes the little bit of electricity off the end of those nerve endings.
Nice. Okay, so on nutrition then, so if a club is sponsored, so Arsenal, for example, are sponsored by Prime and Wrexham, I think, a Gatorade and Lucasade, will the players be drinking that like religiously? Or
Prime, I would be unbelievably doubtful that the players would be drinking Prime.
So in the changing room, will they have different products?
Yes, they'll have it will be a Lucasade or a Gatorade. So they'll have an official proper Powerade, for example, something like that, where it's official and they know that it's going to actually work, because that's the whole point of it. A power drink, an energy drink, will have Red Bulls on the side as well. But when it comes to water bottles, a lot of the time it's it'll be water with a scoop of something like electrolytes
electrolyte
or
mix
something
or
like
carb
that.
mix or
carb mix. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of research and facts behind it in terms of the benefits of like beetroot shots, cherry drinks.
Yeah, there's
shots.
one called Cherry Active.
Cherry Active,
Yeah, do you remember?
right,
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
So we used to use it for recovery. A lot of cyclists actually use it as well. For it's supposed to give you a bit of a boost. If you take it half an hour before you do a bike workout, for example, it's supposed to actually aid, I don't know what it is, blood flow.
Same as beetroot shots. It helps the transportation of white blood cells, and it opens up your arteries. This is like proven.
Yeah,
it's
there
fact.
you go. So it's proven to work. So after the game, you normally have, it's normally Cherry Active after the game. Beetroot shot is before, and then would have a Cherry Active, which is kind of like this real concentrated little sachet of like cherry juice.
I really liked it.
It was lovely, weren't it?
It's not for everybody, but I think the nutritional thing in football now is incredible, because you'd always have a little table in the dressing room with all these little concoctions on, and everybody obviously looks after themselves, some like this, some like that, but the stuff that the sports scientists take to a game now is incredible.
Well, after the game finishes, and there'll be a couple of the sort of physios or masseurs' jobs is to go around every single player and give them their individual tailored protein drink and recovery drink. So you'll have, like you say, a Cherry Active, which you squirt into your water, a bottle of water, close the top, and then everybody has different types of protein and different amounts of protein. Some might be lactose intolerant. All that has to be factored in for. So every little bottle will have a name on it, and that's your exact tailored to protein amount.
After the game, so nutrition after the game, what is the kind of food that you'd have? Because as a goalkeeper, you're not going to massively need to refuel.
Oh, go on, Watto.
Well, look, for me, like, I think for a home game for teams now, it's become like, it's like a 3-course meal.
Yeah.
You can have fruit, you can have a main. There's certainly homemade cookies, flapjacks, yogurts, nuts. Like, it's a 3-course meal. You can either eat in the dressing room, or you can take away with you. How many times do you see a player coming out of the home match and he's got his Louis Vuitton bag or whatever that bag you're describing, but he's always got a little brown bag, and that is full of food, and he's probably eaten something in the thing. But they would have such an array at Southampton. We had in the back room. Honestly, it was like...
But it's not always good food, is it? So it can be pizzas and chicken tenders.
Mate,
isn't it just getting calories inside
there
them?
would always be pizza and chicken pieces there, for sure. And then there's obviously a healthier side to it that you can also pick and choose from. But as you said, sometimes you just got to get something inside you. But that's then where the sports scientists really do take over with the Cherry Active and the protein drinks and the electrolyte drinks, because not everybody can eat after a game either.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So
Because it's different.
that's why they have the brown bags and take them home.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.